Hello YouTube and welcome to Katrinka LOL. We're on the wellness playlist today and I want to talk about a concept called self-compassion. Now first I'm going to talk about my view of self-compassion, my ideas on it, and then I'm going to share some articles that I found on self-compassion and I'll link them below because I'll only share a couple of things from each article, and then you can read the rest yourself to get more info. So let's get started on practicing self-compassion. Now, there's a big difference between self-pity and self-compassion. Self-pity is feeling sorry for yourself. Self-compassion is giving yourself understanding and some slack. It's also being realistic about yourself. Maybe you've been going through a rough time and the only thing you could accomplish today was to sharpen a pencil. That's a silly exaggeration, but you get what I mean. Now, instead of berating yourself about that and I should be doing more, show yourself some self-compassion because of the circumstances that you are in. And there are plenty of critics out there, so instead of joining them and berating yourself, how about becoming your own cheerleader, understanding shoulder, and champion? Keep in mind that you understand your experience and others may not understand it or even relate to it. If that's the case, how can they judge? We sometimes learn to be self-critical when we've experienced criticism from others. It's like an internalized voice that we are used to. So here are some examples of things that you can say to yourself instead. And I'd like to ask you to put in the comments below some suggestions for things that you can say to yourself instead. Okay, number one, the house is not as clean as I'd like, but I'm doing really well considering the circumstances. 2, I would have liked to have gotten an A on that paper, but getting a B is not bad, considering I had a bad case of the flu. Next one, sure I wanted to be one of the top 10 in the class, but 11 isn't something to sneeze at. And finally, even if no one understands what I'm going through, I know, and I'm doing my very best. So along those lines, when I was in grad school, we were asked to define wellness. I defined it as reaching your maximum potential. This is different for everyone. You can have a chronic health condition and be in wellness. So you are comparing yourself to yourself, not to others. So now let's get into the articles. And the first is from Wikipedia. In psychology, self-compassion is extending compassion to oneself in instances of perceived inadequacy, failure, and general suffering. So it's basically being kind to yourself. You know, it's realizing that you're a human being just like everyone else, and things happen. So it has 3 main elements, according to this article: self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness. So when I was studying mental health counseling, it says here, self-compassion in some ways resembles Carl Rogers' notion of unconditional positive regard. And I did study his theory. Albert Ellis's unconditional self-acceptance, and others. So I'm going to let you read the rest of this article. And the next one is Harvard Health Publishing from Harvard Medical School. And this is from January of 2024, The Power of Self-Compassion. So this article says that self-compassion offers several benefits to mental and physical health. So these people who show themselves self-compassion when they are suffering and are kind to themselves reduces their anxiety and related depression. Okay, and here's a book that they recommend, The Mindful Path to Self-Compassion, written by Harvard psychologist Christopher Germer. And he has 5 ways in which you can bring self-compassion into your life. So here's a couple. Write a letter to yourself describing a situation that caused you pain, and don't blame anyone but acknowledge your feelings. That's similar to just journaling, which is something that I love to do. And I use that data dump shred journaling method, which I did a video on a while back. And I'll try to link that below so you can go see that. So that's that article, and you can read the rest of it. There's more to it. And then the last one is from positivepsychology.com, How to Practice Self-Compassion, 8 Techniques and Tips. Yeah. We can be our own worst critics. We can really be hard on ourselves. And so this is something that needs to be practiced. So here's some ways to do it. So according to this article, having self-compassion means being able to relate to yourself in a way that's forgiving, accepting, and loving when situations might be less than optimal. And in this world, that can happen quite frequently. So they mention self-kindness, being tolerant of your own shortcomings, common humanity, and mindfulness, which was in the Wikipedia article. So this would be a very nice article for you to read. It tells you how to start doing it. It's a practice of goodwill. We mindfully accept that the moment is painful and embrace ourselves with kindness and care in response. And like I said before, when I opened this video, no one else may understand your situation. They're not there, they're not in your head. So you're the one that understands your life. So being kind to yourself, even if you're the only one doing it, that's a good thing. So here's a couple of the tips, and there's 8 of them here. Treat yourself as you treat a friend. Become more self-aware and regain your perspective. So those are just a few things. And then there's a self-compassion step-by-step audio course by Kirsten Neff that has been mentioned here. And then there's 13 useful resources that you can use. So yeah, check out this article too. It's pretty good. So I hope this video has been helpful. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, subscribe, and share. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.